go, my friends. The man from the ministry and his assistants have been and audited last night. After you left us, we managed to cobble together what we needed to build ourselves something to clean the equipment with so we'd get the extra points on our audit. And here we are, all of our equipment gleaming, shiny, impressive. And indeed, the man from the ministry has been impressed. He was particularly nostalgic about the old Ministry of Farming tracked vehicle. Once upon a time in Sosnovka, they were the only vehicles we had in agriculture. Those and a harvester, Model 1. But there you go. So, and ironically, having just washed everything, it's started to sleet. Well, there you go. We made it a week, and now we washed them, and that happens to me quite a lot. I don't know about yourselves. Anyway, yes, we are clear to go. We have everything we need. We now need to put all of our money into the cows to increase milk production along the way. Now that we are registered as filling our quota, we can also take advantage of some of the other ways of making ourselves some production credits, boost the milk production even further, and become the hero farm of the Republic. Absolutely brilliant. Isn't it lovely here? Right, on with the day. Okay. Right, I'm loving how sunny it is. Unfortunately, we had to wait till nearly 3 o'clock for the sleet to clear and the harvest to be ready. Right. This is the grass we replanted. Ploughed it out. Planted grass. The idea being that we can now do this. Turn on the baler. Lower the mower. Turn on the mower. Now, if you remember, I'm sure you do, we got 8 bales out of this area of grass before. There we go. Hired to a worker. Not too good with the square, with brown baler, sorry, simply because he will not stop to empty. But what we're actually going to do is just leave them over here and leave this guy to mow. The harvester is already harvesting. This is our other new vehicle. We didn't only let you have a brief glimpse of it when we found it up in the woods, all washed up. It's the Massey Ferguson bulldozer. His official name is, of course, the Series 200C M82 edition with sunscreen and forestry cage. This is a plough, very nice deep plough, 2 meters. He can pull it beautifully. He obviously has the front loader attachment, which we shall put down just for a moment. What I love about this mod pack, again, this is all part of the Massey Ferguson, the MF mod pack. You will actually get whichever model you choose regarding engines. On all of the tractors, you'll get the correct code actually appear on the tractor. It's got the stickers, it's got the lovely steering sticks that you steer with your invisible arms. Again, yeah, it's just another lovely vehicle, and very versatile. And don't be put off because we don't see many tracked vehicles working on farms. You know, back in the first half of the 20th century, these were all the rage. The first tanks, and many tanks, when countries were first trying to build their own tanks, were based basically on the running gear of tractors. This one's great for forestry. We've got the double gripping bio belts log grabber, which to be honest I don't have a huge favoritism for over the single one, the one that isn't a mod. it looks the part on this machine, so I do quite like it. Right, let's just check on our worker. Oh yeah, he's doing very nicely. And you've nearly got a full grain tank. So, your first job on the farm. Actually, pulling trailers is one of the odder things to do with the tracked vehicle. You will get used to it, the way it maneuvers, the way it turns. You can kind of, certainly with a controller, you can get it to spin quite tightly just by pumping the controller. I guess tapping your keyboard key if you're playing on a PC. Right, let's get these hitched up. We don't need both. I like it. It doesn't run particularly cleanly, but there you go. It's not too damaging. It's running on some kind of biodiesel, I'm sure. Right, there we go. Right, the detail about Audit and my conversation with the man from the ministry was really that he's more than happy, as I assumed. He's very pleased. We hit our quota, overachieved on our quota, in fact, for milk production already in the first week. Also very pleased, of course, that we've outperformed the other ministries. The Ministry of Wood has been having trouble. We've had to help them. The Ministry of Mutton and Mittens hasn't even turned up with their sheep yet. It gives the Ministry of Cows a kind of a senior status in the area overall. So it allows us maybe to take more opportunities to make money. Now basically, as I've said, all of our money really goes back into cow production. That's what we're here for. But we do have a little bit of a elbow room leeway, however you want to put that. Now, right, so we're just emptying out that bale of grass. We've got 4 rows mowed, 2 for baling now as grass, 2 for tedding, then baling as hay. That's the plan. And we'll see how much more we got. So you can't hire him out just with the baler. With a square baler, you'd obviously keep running. So you could actually literally get this all of this grass baled up as you mowed it with a hired worker. We may look at getting a square baler. It depends on our decision regarding whether to make silage in the bunker instead of wrapping the bales. Today we're going to wrap bales. Then we're going to have enough bales to use the mowing from here for a couple of days at least, to look into the possibility of filling up that bunker. I don't think there's a very low minimum that you have to put in there in terms of cut grass or chaff to wrap it. So we'll see how we get on with that. Now, we have looked at some new pieces of equipment that we found around the map, or I should say old pieces of equipment. There's always new mods coming out, obviously, in terms of gameplay. So I'm trying to concentrate, otherwise I'll keep talking and I know exactly what I'll do. I'll be driving along merrily, not actually baling anything. Happens to me a lot. So where are we? We've got 4 bales of each yesterday. I think we've achieved that almost already here. Anyway, where was I? Yeah, there's some more mods out. There's some nice old harvesters. We're definitely going to have a look at those. I think one of them may even be Harvester Model 1, which I mentioned in relation to its historical role in the foundation of agriculture around here. Certainly looks the part from what I've seen. We certainly can get by with that from the man on the ministry, because by cutting the maintenance bill, I explained to him, from its nearly $2,500 a day at the moment, that would save us the equivalent of half a cow a day. Half a cow's milk production every day. That's how much it would increase. So he liked that. So we will be able to have a look at changing the harvester we've got. And certainly now that we have access to the woodland and everyone's happy with what's going on down here, we can certainly find some new ways of making ourselves some money. So we've got ourselves 6 bales of hay. We're just going to catch up on the fields now. These 2 fields are fully harvested. I'm not doing any baling of the straw today. We don't need to. Bulldozer. And do a bit more field work. Get to know the fertilizer. Now, I'm thinking now we can maybe think about getting a fertilizer spreader with a wider width. I'm not sure. We'll see over the next 2 days. I'll let the harvester get ahead deliberately. These guys are just playing catch up, which means I don't need to dash up and down getting in the fertilizer. That is basically one of the benefits of the whole extra tractor. It gives you a little bit more flexibility. Tomorrow I might try to run the harvest really closely, or perhaps we'll resynchronize when we finish down here and do that up there. What we're going to do now is go and sell this barley, because we need to get a bale wrapper, and we haven't got enough money, so let's just have a look at the prices, because we do need to go 347, not too bad, not as good as yesterday. Off to the bakery. That's not too far away at all. Right, for those of you who don't know, the bakery is up in a corner of town we didn't actually visit yet. I will actually show you at the end of this video something we were shown when we first arrived here, that some of the anomalies in that corner of town were still particularly tenacious, but hopefully we'll get away quite safely today. So we're just going to head up there, take this in, top up the money. No, I've gone completely the wrong way. There you go. I haven't really spent much time over this side of the map. Normally, when I've played Sosnovka, my expansion has been over to fields 15 and 20 and kind of that way, but we've gone completely the other way in this playthrough, which again I do quite like. It's nice just to play maps in a very different way. Here we are, just up behind the animal pickup point, and while we're up here we'll have a little look through this side of town for those of you that might not have seen it before. Pure farming. I haven't even tried it yet. I'm going to wait a while on that one. A lot of the people usually doing the farm simulator are all playing that, and I understand why. They all have the pressure to get views and get the new stuff out, sometimes a little bit too quickly for their own good, perhaps, but that's what they do, and that's how you get ahead in this YouTube game. I'm here just for fun. I quite enjoy making the videos. I'm quite enjoying the feedback we're starting to get, which is what I enjoy more than anything else, to be honest with you. Right, here we go. Let's have a little look around while we're here. We haven't got an awful lot of money, so we will get that wrapper released quite swiftly. That's all we really need to worry about buying today. Maybe a little bit more fertilizer and seed. On this side of town, now this is the sand pit we were warned about, so we're not going to hang around here. You'll have to see that later. Again, it's all a little bit strange up here, a little bit clean. I'm going to cut across here because we're a little bit naughty. There are some areas at the back of these houses, or especially with the smaller equipment which you get in the or got I should say in the classics pack in the older versions of the game. There's a memorial to the glorious defenders of the motherland. Yeah, you can pinch these little fields here quite comfortably. Again, they were quite a good little way ahead in some of the playthroughs I played, because I was so poor. But anyway, Helper I has completed their task. We're just going to park up here for a moment so we don't block any traffic. Right, that's the fertilizer almost finished. Let's see, this is quite, as I said, an odd vehicle. You can really swing it around. Until you get used to it really swinging around, it can be a little disorientating. Would that be the right word? And as we shall see up in the woods, this can really show its skills twisting around. Right, that's done. we could think about moving up to the other fields with some of this equipment. But for now, we're going to get that bale wrapper, get our supplies for the cows assessed, see exactly where we're at. I think we're going to be baling straw one day, mowing grass one day, really for the cows, and then mowing grass another day on the third day, and really seeing what we do with that. But that might be where we start building up the silage there, so we don't have to wrap bales anymore. As you can see, we have made 6 bales of hay and we've made 6 bales of silage, which is absolutely brilliant. We didn't have to do the extra mowing around, which I actually did the first time we did the mowing up and down the other field and around the tops of the fields. I think we pretty much doubled the grass production by our ploughing and planting. So right, so let's get some of this mixed rations made up. I will sit down at lunchtime, supper time it looks like now. The day's running a little bit late. Hopefully we can get that harvest time back earlier again. I need to focus now that we've got all of our equipment on getting organised, and as usual, my ability to narrate and do little jobs can sometimes be a little bit pushed. One of those. And 1 straw. Where was I? Yes, we'll get into a nice routine. Tomorrow I'm going to deliberately try to make things as efficient and streamlined as possible while we bed in the new equipment. But we've got days worth of mixed rations now. Once I've done the maths, we'll know exactly where we are. But I think we're going to be able to get that silage bunker nicely full. And then we wouldn't need to wrap the bales. We can make the bales of hay, square bales, bales of straw, square bales, and then a couple of buckets of the silage from the bunker once that's fermented. The advantage of square bales is simply that you don't have to keep stopping to empty the baler. And as I said, if we put the mower on the front, we could just make bales of grass, which we still need to do, of course. Let's not forget that. Right, get these guys fed. It would help if I selected the right tool. There we are. Oh my days, what are you guys up to? I had to refill the seeder. Now we've got into one of those slightly confused states, have we, Mr. Seeder Man? He's done his unnecessary right turn. I should have been ready for that. Right, that's the last bit he actually needs to do. And then we need to manually stop him at the end because he's going to try and turn right and come back again. So we're just starting the migration up to the fields at the top of the map. To the west. Tractors are already filthy again. Didn't quite realise we're going to stop in the shop because we need to fertilise the fields up here before we can harvest them, or before we should harvest them I should say. So we might as well get a refill now. Well, we may have some down here. We've got 100 left I think from the last refill. So we may just grab that and get ahead actually. At least so we can get the harvest started. So I'm quite conscious of the time. I think that'll be enough. Oh. Right. We're also going to sell this, which I think at the transport company is the top price. Not as good as yesterday's, probably not as good as the days before, but we'll take what we can get as we have to. Here we are arriving up into town. It's actually the vegetable warehouse yet again. It's going to give us the best price for our soy. we'll have a look just before we tip. It's not as good as it has been, but it's still pretty good, and we certainly need the cash. But notice how relaxed things are now. Basically, we're not really going to be stuck in a situation now, unless I particularly mess things up, where we are just stuck because we have no money. We can just make money as and when we need it, which is always a nice position to be in. There we go, we are solvent again. So that was sold at 908. So we'll see how much we get for the rest of today's produce. We are also, again, we'll have a look maybe tomorrow, in the position where as long as our daily costs are covered, and we're going to decide today, our quota really is to try to get a couple of cows a day, 2 cows a day. So we're going to do some maths and see where we are. As long as we hit that target, the rest of it is all down to us. So first job, I'm just going to pop back around here, come around the long way actually, but why not? Town, come on. Wish this place would brighten up. Right, we'll get this guy fertilizing, and then we can drive up the rest of the gang. Right. That looks about right. Off you go. Right. Now, Mr. Bulldozer, he's going to stay here. We've got another mix of rations there, although we don't actually need them now. Bigger Valtra is going to be towing. We put the front cultivator on the back this time, and we've got the seeder on the front. We can see absolutely fine, you see. We do need to fill the seeder up on the way up, but as we know, he says, crossing his fingers, one seeder full of seed is enough. We may have to send the guy back over for more fertilizer for the replanting. I had no idea. I mean, I did actually check that the dirt was set to normal, but it is. But in one day, oh my word, that was nearly bad. No, we got away with that. In one day, they're absolutely filthy again. Was it worth it? Yes, it was. Of course it is. Our cars need a good clean tomorrow. See if we get sleet as soon as we have done that. Probably will. And then we finish moving house. We're moving house all of about 3 miles away to Trash Green. There's a small little irony there, simply because my randomly generated gamer tag is Fin Trash. So I'm going home in a funny kind of way. Right, let's get this seed bought. Remember, pallets of seed, bags of fertilizer. We'll buy one of those. Alright, see, it spawns the pallets outside. It likes to spawn the bags inside. Oh, we're going to have to make some adjustments here, aren't we? Alright, oh, the harvest has escaped. As I was saying earlier, actually, we may soon be in the position to upgrade our harvester to one that certainly isn't going to cost us anywhere near that much a day in maintenance. Oh, we're running quite short of petrol. We're not running out of petrol again, are we? Right, let's get this reloaded. Ramps down. Release that. We'll just put the seeder down there. Take off the cultivator. And drive on the case. As I've said all along, really looking to reduce those slices of overhead, wage bills, maintenance costs. It's what we can look at now. We've got everything we need to make the money. I think we're going to need to get the tractor hitched back on the front, aren't we here? We seem to be shoving the trailer along. Isn't really what we were aiming for. Up, no, we're up. No, we're not. Right. We need an anchor tractor. Noted. You want front hitch. Interesting. Also noted. I actually like this game that you're just constantly learning little bits and pieces of useless information, let's face it, but it's a nice release. And to be able to have fun and pick up a little bit of knowledge, even if it is just about a virtual farm and how the universe works in this crazy little place. That's still good enough for me. Right. Cultivator back on. We're already looking a bit more stable than we were before. Right, gently now. This is where I could make it all go wrong. You'll be fine about there. Oh, word. See that wobble? We really don't need a wobble. Right. Ramps up. Is there actually space between the tractor and the harvester now? Let's have a look. Is it resting on it? At the risk of making it all go wrong. There you go. Off we go. Gently, gently, as they say. Here we are, heading back to the vegetable warehouse to drop off the harvest in the top fields, which are pretty much done. Done a bit more quickly than the bottom end of the farm. Obviously we weren't mowing and organising, mixing rations. Once you can concentrate on the field, you can actually get them turned around pretty quickly, which is good. We refueled the big Zeta, we're not making that mistake again. We'll pop over with this one now. The harvester, fingers crossed, has got enough for tomorrow. We refuel him on the way back to the main farm. There we go. We've got enough money there to buy 2 cows. Our daily target is met, and I've looked. We'll make a cow tomorrow just from reproduction. So we only have to buy one to maintain our 2 cows a day target for this week. So that gives us a bit more money to play with. We've done nothing odd financially today. Apart from, what have we done? We've rented the Bale wrapper, and it costs us about $840. We'll keep that overnight, use it again tomorrow. Daily rates are much better to be paying than the that first chunk of money you have to pay on the rental. No doubt about that. Right, so here we are just checking in on our fine cows. We're making a cow every day and a half. So that's 2 cows every 3 days. So tomorrow, as I said, we'll only have to buy 1. Today we're going to buy 2. Feed wise, they are sorted. We can now look at ways of making some money off that silage, some serious money. I'm tempted to keep the wrapper so that we can make silage just for sale, but also to use the silage silo to ferment our own for the food. Yeah, I think that's going to be the most profitable way forward, but we'll see. Anyway, let's get those cows bought. 37. We're obviously taking a hit on delivery costs, but it's just the cheapest option. Maybe next week we'll just try to put the money by. Let's see how we're getting on. Right, so we've got the 2 cows. Now, the absolute advantage of having a spare vehicle, really, especially in this situation, is that everyone can stay at the far fields for the night. We've still got somebody down here to do the odd jobs, which for now are going to consist of cleaning, keeping these pigs at 100% productivity absolutely as much as possible. Is obviously going to be doing some more forestry at some stage, especially if we think of a goal for a chunk of money. But for now, He's just going to do a little bit of gentle mowing. The guys are still up on the top field, just finishing off. So we're going to lower, turn on. We're just going to get mowing just around this little paddock area, because tomorrow we're going to get those start filling the bunker to ferment our own silage. So let's have a look at today's figures, which is Monday's, because we just ticked into Tuesday. New livestock, 2 cows, fantastic. That plus the profit, so we basically made nearly $13,000 profit yesterday and bought 2 new cows out of it. Vehicle running costs, still a high. We might have a way of getting those down quite nicely. Leasing costs, that's good. It's better than the alternatives that we have. I think we've ticked over some hours on there, so we'll have a little look. Annual upkeep, obviously going to increase as the number of cows increases. Milk, see, it's going up day on day, which is very nice. Up to nearly $10,000. Fertilizer costs $3,600. We know that. Seed costs balancing out somewhere around $1,800. Harvest income, that's nice, still up around there. That's those extra fields. We're doing well. Wage payment down again by a nice chunk of money. So that's me paying a little bit more attention. Basically, other, not really sure. Wish I knew what went into other costs. I didn't notice what that was. And we did buy some petrol today. So yes, we're doing very well. Anyway, thank you very much for watching. We'll catch you soon. Tomorrow is going to be slightly different, because we're going to make as much money as we possibly can. Take care. Leave us a like, leave us a comment. Anything you'd like to have a look at, anything you think we might have missed, any suggestions, always welcome. And subscribe if you want to stay in touch. Thank you very much.